Hello. So I've had sort of a massive amount of requests to cover mastering a BITWIG, how to get a good master, stuff like that. And it's actually quite simple. You have pretty much all the tools you need. So I'm just going to do a quick little video to show you how you can get like pretty great master with just a few of the stock tools in BITWIG and pretty much be ready for release. So I've just got a simple example track here for you. So that's the unmastered version. It's sounding pretty wimpy, not fat at all, not thick, not sounding really juicier, way more juicier, or even juicy at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply some mastering techniques to kind of incorporate all of those elements into our track. So I've just got a quick mastering chain loaded up here, and we're pretty much just going to start from scratch here and add some of the stuff that we need to add. So number one is EQ. EQ is extremely important. So one of the number one things you want to look at in your mastering is right around this kind of 200 to 300 hertz range. This range can be really quite important for not having your track sound muddy and stuff like that. So it's extremely important to be careful with how we treat this in our track. So we don't want our track to sound muddy at all. So we're going to boost this pretty much as we can. So we're just going to go plus 10 dB. Actually, let's just go up to 30 here, and let's just boost that right up there. Nice narrow band up to plus 30 dB. And that should remove any muddiness now from the track. So next up, we're going to need to get our volume up. So everybody knows mastering is all about getting your volume up as high as possible, removing as much dynamic range as you can. So obviously a great tool to use to get our master level higher is a peak limiter. So first, obviously, we're going to want to increase the volume of our master. So what we'll do is we'll push this input gain up here to plus 36 dB. Now, currently in BITWIG, there is a bug where the limiter only goes up to plus 36 dB. So in order for kind of a workaround for this, obviously we need to get our track louder, is if we just duplicate the peak limiter here, I'm going to duplicate it 3 times, then we can get plus, I don't know, 100 and whatever dB. And that should be just about loud enough to put it up on SoundCloud. So that's pretty much all the settings for the limiter. Release, you can bring that right down. You don't really need to release it yet. So we're going to skip on now to the final element. You may have heard about this before. So when you're mastering, one of the reasons people love those old tape machines and stuff is because they imply sort of a subtle saturation onto your mix, and that can sound great on a master as well. So here we can use the saturator to apply some saturation. So obviously subtle saturation is so important, and if subtle saturation is important, then extreme saturation must be extremely important. So if we push the drive way up there to the top, we're going to saturate it as much as possible. Now again, we kind of have the same bug where it kind of stops at 0, so let's just duplicate that again, and then we can make sure we're getting as much saturation on our track as possible, and that's going to make it far juicier. Okay, so next, let's just have a listen to the track before and after the mastering chain. So here's the track before again, just to remind you. Very, very weak. Pretty much no vibe to it at all. And then let's just turn on the mastering chain and see how it sounds afterwards. Okay, thanks for watching and happy April.